obviously Brady has this whole mystique about them. So I'm going to say that this whole video is going to be a bit of a strange one, because by the time you see this, I think this drum will most likely have been sold. As you'll have seen, this is a 12x7 Brady. And this has been the only Brady snare drum that I've ever owned. No particular reason for that, but I got this drum, I'm going to say that magical around 15-year figure again, simply because I know it was a good while. In fact, it may be longer than that actually, but it was a good while before I had this place. And you know, I got it from eBay. I've never really been able to remember sort of quite the specs of the wood. But something came up recently which looks very, very similar. So I'm going to say this is a Jarrah Ply. Well, I know it's a Ply drum. I've always known it's a Ply drum, but it's a Jarrah Ply with a black art outer. And I'll do a bit. You know, I'll try and do a spin a bit later. But you know, you can get an idea. I mean, this is very sort of. You know, this is a very exotic looking drum, and. You know, I've always liked this part of it. You know, that sort of patterning there. I've always liked that about it. Now, I don't get to play this drum very often, mainly because I don't really have that much use for well, any wood drum that's sort of smaller than 13 at the moment. It's been kind of I've always enjoyed having it, and I have used it, but it's just one of those things. Someone asked me about it, and I thought about it, and I thought, well, why not? It's nice that it'll probably go to a place where it's going to get the opportunity to be used a little bit more frequently than I can use it. It's a 12x7, as you'll have seen, as I think I mentioned. I've always liked 12x7 drums simply because, you know, I like the 12-inch diameter. It kind of gives you a little bit more of a higher pitched basic fundamental that you know, will cut through quite nicely. Unlike sort of more shallow drums in that sort of 12-inch sort of range, I've never really cared that much for shallower 12-inch drums. That's why I've always gone sort of 12.6, 12.7. Mainly, I think, really, as I said, you get the higher fundamental, but at the same time, you get more body with it. And I think if you go for a deeper 12-inch drum, kind of offsets all that slightly, so you get more body from it. So that's why I've always ended up with a little fleet of 12x7s. But this drum, well, it's eight double-ended tube lugs. You've got the Nickelworks clear version of the strainer. I've always had an elastic band on this when I've played it, mainly just to stop it from sort of doing that, which sometimes they have a tendency to do. But you know, it works just fine. It hasn't gone wrong. You know, sort of the regular sort of butt plate there. I think these are 1.6mm triple flanged hoops because they don't feel very thick. What else really? Oh yeah, 16 strand wires there. Original heads too. Brady logoed hazy on the bottom and a Brady logoed CS coated dot on the top. The wood, for years, you know, I try and keep a lot of the information. I certainly do now. I try and keep like screen grabs and things from stuff I've historically bought on eBay, you know, for this sort of thing, so I can remember. But because this was so long ago and many computers ago, I don't have that reference anymore. But so I've always been a little bit sort of hazy on the definitive specs of the wood, but you know, I think I'm pretty sure it is basically a Jarrah Ply. Well, I know it's a ply drum, but it's Jarrah on the inside, and basically this is black heart on the outer ply. But you know, whatever. It is a lovely drum. You know what? I don't actually know if I've ever played one of the fabled, you know, Brady stave Jarrah shells. I don't think I have, but obviously Brady has this whole mystique about them, and at the moment they're, because Chris isn't making drums anymore and Brady is effectively sort of more a name these days more than it is anything else, and you know, a very good name, but you know, I think it's not that the time is right. I don't buy things to flip them, but I think the time is right for me to let this one go and basically be enjoyed by someone who actually has a couple of those stave shell Bradys, and so I you know, I am going to kind of miss it, as with many of these drums that I've had and I've enjoyed and I've sold on sort of recently. I am going to miss some of them, but you know what? I've had them for a long time. I've enjoyed them, and I've realised that I tend to keep coming back to the same drums. That's not to say I'm going to sell everything, because I'm not. The Craviottos are staying, as are many of the other specific pieces which I cherish. So I will say that now, before anyone asks or leaves anything in the comments. But I think that's it. Actually, I think that's it. You know, this is a wonderful drum. It has been a wonderful drum for me. But it's time for it to go and basically live abroad, I think. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like, and I'll see you again. Thanks a lot.